This is your 1.1 notes on points, lines, and planes. We're going to understand and use the concept of point, line, and plane. If I can get it to write. There we go. Okay. So we're going to talk about some undefined terms. These are things that are so basic that we don't really have a definition for them. It's kind of strange, but we have to use them to define other things. So the first one is a point. A point is a location. Okay, it's got neither shape nor size. Now, if I start going too fast, you can pause me, rewind me, do whatever you got to do. Okay, so for example, let's say I've got a line, and on that line, I have this little point P. Okay. We name it using a capital letter, but you have to also write out the word point. So you have to write point P, and that's a capital P. Okay. What you can't do, and I'll do this in red to show it's bad. What you can't do is write point P. You have to write out the word point. Okay, next we have a line. A line is made up of points, and it has neither thickness nor width. Now this is a weird thing because in order to draw a point and a line, we have to give them width. So the representations that we draw on our paper have width so that we can see them. But the actual point and the actual line are not visible. They're so thin because they have no width or thickness that you could not see them. But in order to do stuff with them, we have to draw them. Okay, so our representations are visible because we have to give them width. Okay, there is exactly one line through any 2 points. Okay, we're going to name a line using the letters representing 2 points. Whoops, that looked gross. 2 points on the line, or a lowercase script letter. Okay, so for example, let's say I give you this line. Okay, I've got a point here and a point here. One of the points is Q, one of the points is P, and then it's also labeled with a lowercase script m. That looks bad. There we go. Okay, so we can either call that line M, line PQ, or we can flip the letters around and call it line QP. Oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted to put there. No wonder that's so small. Okay, we're going to put that on the next one. Hold the phone. Okay, so we're going to call it either line PQ, or we can do this. We can put, I was like, why did I make that so small? We can have PQ with a line symbol over it. Notice the arrows. You have to have the arrows. Without the arrows, it's going to mean something different. You need the arrows. Okay, or you can write out line QP and flip the order around. Or we have, I don't know what happened on my PDF, but this is supposed to be like this. So if it is weird on your paper, would you please fix it? These two are supposed to match. They're just flip-flopped, the order. They both need that symbol over the top, okay? So any of those are acceptable ways to name that line that we drew. Okay, next we have a plane. Okay, a plane is a flat surface made up of points. So if the points have no thickness, then the plane has no thickness because it's made up of points which have no thickness. A plane extends infinitely in all directions. There is exactly one plane through any 3 points that are not on the same line. Okay, so let's draw a picture. Now, I can't draw something that goes infinitely in all directions, but I can draw this cute little parallelogram guy, and that's going to represent my plane. So this plane that we're drawing, we're going to call it plane K. Make this a fancy K. That's going to be our capital script letter. Okay. It could also be defined by any 3 points in the plane that are not collinear. So they have to look like this. They can't be in a line. You can't do that. Okay, so they have to not be on the same line. So we're going to call this one C. Oops, I want red. This one's C. This one's B. And this one is D. That's a D, not an O. Okay, so options for naming, that's 3 points. Okay, options for naming this plane are plane K, this capital script letter, kind of like we could name a line M, using the lowercase script letter. It's kind of similar. Okay, we can call it plane BCD, plane CDB, plane DCB. Okay, all of those are options. So it doesn't matter the order that we write those letters in. What does matter is that we always say the word plane, 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 plane. You get it, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we have a figure and we have to answer these questions. So we have to name a line containing point K. So here's K. Now, this is the line that contains point K. Okay, so we can call that line. Do you see the lowercase script letter? That's line A. Okay, that doesn't look like script. Okay. We can use any 2 of those other points that are on the line to name it. So we could call it line JK. Whoops, not that. Okay, or I could say line KL and put the line symbol above it. I could flip the order around. I could call it line JL. Okay, so we have lots of options. Any 2 of those 3 points can name it. The order doesn't matter. I either need the word line or the line symbol. That was supposed to be a circle. Or the line symbol. Not both, just one or the other. Okay. Now we have to name a plane containing point L. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do this. We can use the uppercase script letter for the plane. So we can call that plane B. Make that fancy. Okay. Or we can use 3 non-collinear points, 3 points that are not on the same line. So what I can't do is say plane J, K, L, because J, K, and L are on this line. So I can't use those 3. I have to go for a different point. I can use J and K and M. Okay, I just can't go in a straight line. I could use K, L, and M to define my plane. They just can't be on a line, on the same line. Okay. All right, now we're going to do number 2, example 2. So we have to name a line containing point X. So basically the same thing we did on the other side. So here's X, and this is the line that's going through it. Okay, so one of the options, oh man, I kind of scribbled all over everything. Okay, so we can't just use X as the only letter, because like this line also has X in it. So it's not enough information to tell me which line through point X I'm defining. So I can't use that one. Okay, I can't use line Z for the same reason. Like a line going through Z might not even go through X. Okay, so it's not that one. YZ, that's a segment. Whoops, I drew it as a line. That doesn't have any arrows, so that's just a segment without arrows on the ends going from Y to Z. So it's not that one. The only one we can use is the lowercase script letter that is the name for this line, line C. Now we have to name a plane containing point Z. Let's get rid of some of this other stuff so we can see what's going on. So we can either name it with 3 points that are not on the same line. So plane XZ does not have enough letters in it. We would have to use like X, Z, and then also Y. Okay, so we can't do this one because it doesn't have enough letters. It didn't actually have the Y. Okay, we can't use plain C because C is how the little lowercase script letters, how we name a line, not a plane. So it can't be that one. X, Q, and Y fall on the same line. So I can't use them. The only thing I can use is plain P. Okay. We have to name, for example 3, the fundamental geometric elements modeled by each of the following. So if we're looking at a 10 by 12 patio, okay, here's 10, here's 12. Well, doesn't that look like the picture I just drew of a plane a few minutes ago? So this would be a plane. Okay, what about a button on a table? Okay, here's my table, here's my button. Well, that kind of looks like a point on a plane. Point on plane. Okay, next I've got a dot on a map marking the location of a city. So here's my map. Here's my dot. Well, doesn't that look just like that one? That's a point on a plane too. All right, what about a string pulled taut? Taut means it's not like loopy-doopy and sagging. It's like straight. Well, that kind of looks like a line. Okay, I forgot how to get to the next page, guys. It's a struggle. I'm going to pause it while I figure it out. Okay, I'm back. I'm not going to tell you how long it took me to figure out how to turn the page either. All right, points that lie on the same line. I've already accidentally said this word a few times. It's called collinear. Collinear. Okay, you can see the word linear, and the word linear has the word line in it. And you know that co means with. So they're hanging out with each other on the same line. Okay, so if we look at this picture, K, L, and M are hanging out on the same line. They are collinear. All right, if we look at K, L, and N, they are not all hanging out on the same line. Okay, so those three are non-collinear. Okay. Now, points that lie in the same plane, they're all hanging out with each other in the same plane with each other, that we call coplanar. So all of these points, those are coplanar points because they're all in a plane together. Coplanar. You can see the word plane kind of in there. And again, with. So they're hanging out with each other in the same plane. Okay. So we have to draw and label a figure for this situation. We've already got plane R. Okay, it's got lines A, B, and D, E, which intersect at point P. Okay, I don't know what happened to my line symbols, but they're all messed up. These lines should be like this. A, B, and D, E, which intersect at point P. So we're going to draw A, B. Okay, put points on there. There's A. There's B. Ooh. Okay, here's D, E. D, E. Okay, and they intersect at point P. Okay, so we also have to add a point C so that it is not collinear with A, B, or D, E. Now, again, we've fixed these. If yours are messed up, they should look like this. I don't know what happened. Okay, so we have to add point C. So it can't, like I can't put it here because this line is going to hit that point. Can't put it there. Can't put it here because AB would hit it. Okay, can't put it there. So I have to put it where it's not going to get hit by either of those two lines. I can put it there, put it here, here, here. Any of those points will work, but I'm going to do the first one. That's point C. Oops. Okay, we have to choose the best diagram for the given relationship. Plane D contains line A, line M, and line T, with all three lines intersecting at point C. Also, point F is on plane D and is not collinear with any, that should say any of the three given lines. Okay, so the first thing that's jumping out at me is look at C. You see this? How A is like punching through and it's like this part's back behind. Okay, plane D is not containing line A right there. It is intersecting with line A. So it can't be C. Okay, next I see that all of the lines have to intersect at point Z. Okay, so look at D. Z is not the intersection point for those lines. So it can't be D. Okay, now look at A and B. It says that F is on plane D, but not collinear. So F can't be on A, M, or T. And look at this one. There's F, and it's on A, line A, so it can't be A. It has to be B. All right, next. Yikes. Okay, so this one's kind of tricky. How many planes appear in this figure? The first one you see is this plane S, right? Okay, but there's another one, guys. I'm going to do my best to draw it, but I am not an artist. Okay, so the other one, the other plane has D, B, A, and C in it, and it's going like this. Oh my God. It's doing that. Oh shoot. I just got rid of my whole thing. I just wanted to erase the part of it that sucked. Okay, I'm going to try again. There, 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 there. Okay, so that's the other plane. Like you can think of one as like going sideways flat like a table, and the other one's going up and down. Okay, so there are actually two. Okay, the first one is plane S. Okay, the other one, we can use any 3 points that are non-collinear. So I can't use A, B, and D because they're in the same line. But I can use ABC or ADC. So I'm going to say plane A, D, C. There are 2. This is 1, and this is 1. Okay, name 3 points that are collinear. I kind of gave that one away. So falling on the same line, we have these 3 points, A, B, and D. So remember that we have to say point A, point, was it B? I already forgot. Yes. Point B and point D. Capital letters for the points. Are planes A, B, C, and D coplanar? Well, yeah, because they're on my pink plane, right? Yes. They are on plane. What did we call it? ADC. ADC. Okay. At what point do DB and CA intersect? Will you fix those lines with me, please? DB and CA. All right, let's get rid of some stuff on here. I probably don't need all this. Okay, so here is DB, and here is CA. So where do they intersect? Bam, right at point A. So we just say point A. Okay. Example 7. This is the last one, I think. Use the figure to answer the question. How many planes are there in this figure? Okay, so there's the one we can see, the blue one. Okay, and then there's another one. There's the one that has A, B, X, R, Z, N. It's got all of these points in it. Actually, it has O in it too. It has all of those points. Okay, it's like this. Okay, that's it. So I see 2. Okay, name 3 collinear points. All right, well, let's look. Erase some stuff in here. All right, let's check B, O, X. Not collinear. Nope. All right, what about X, O, N? Nope. What about R, O, B? Geez, no. All right, 4 times the charm. A, X, and Z. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. R points X, O, and R coplanar. X, O, and R. Yeah, like twice over. Okay, they're collinear, but they're also coplanar. Any points that are collinear also have to be coplanar. Okay, they're in plane T. See that fancy T? Whoops, I didn't mean to erase it. They're in plane T, the blue plane, and they're also in my hot pink plane. They're in both. So we're going to say yes. All right, you survived the, almost done, sorry. At one point, do line BN and line XO intersect. BNXO, BNXO. Let's see. Okay, BN is here, and XO goes there, and I see them intersecting at point R. So we're going to say point R. That's it. That's all, folks.